The story kicks off back in 2010. CIA agents Matthew and Emily were prepping for a mission. They have to break into the house of a European terrorist named Gore. Right now, Gore is celebrating his son's 8th birthday. Their job is to steal the ICS key from there. It's a device that controls all the world's major systems. Before heading out, Emily secretly took a pregnancy test. Matthew was rushing her to get ready quickly. Once they got to Gore's place, Emily insisted Matthew leave his gun in the car. It's a kid's party after all. If shots are fired, someone could get hurt. Their boss, Chuck, told them they had to play the role of a couple who sells French weapons. When they walked in holding hands, Chuck realized something was definitely going on between them. He said sending them in together was a mistake. But Emily said they were just acting for the sake of the mission. To that, Chuck said if they got caught, they'd better come up with a better lie. Inside, Emily sprayed a chemical on her hand. As soon as Gore took her hand to kiss it, his fingerprints were captured, and his voice was recorded by Emily's watch. Meanwhile, Chuck was guiding them on exactly where to go. Matthew and Emily soon reached Gore's office. Using the fingerprints and voice, they opened the safe and grabbed the ICS key. But as soon as it opened, a silent alarm went off and guards showed up. Matthew and Emily fought them off hard and took them all down. After that, Chuck called them to a secret spot where an MI6 agent named Baron Andrews was waiting. He's Emily's ex-boyfriend, and he had a jet ready for them. Chuck had already warned them not to tell Baron anything about the key. He made it clear they couldn't trust anyone. Baron was super sweet to Emily, but he acted really weird with Matthew. They kept bickering back and forth. It was obvious they didn't like each other much. Anyway, the plane soon took off. Their mission was almost done, so Matthew suggested celebrating with some champagne. But Emily refused to drink. Matthew felt something was off and asked, "What's the deal?" Finally, Emily came clean and said, "I'm pregnant." She even had a bunch of test kits to show she was 100% sure. Hearing this, Matthew was a bit shocked, but he was also happy. He said he'd love to start a family with her. They were both thrilled, but suddenly, Emily felt nauseous. She ran toward the bathroom, but the flight attendant said the bathroom was out of order. "You can't go in." On an 11-hour flight, that sounded super sketchy. Emily quietly signaled Matt. Suddenly, the flight attendant pulled out a gun and demanded the ICS key. To distract him, Matthew tossed the key into the air. Taking the chance, Emily attacked and grabbed the gun, and the other attackers came out too. A fight broke out immediately. In the middle of the chaos, that same flight attendant grabbed a bullet and loaded the gun, but just as he was about to fire, Matthew shoved him. Because of that, he missed, and the bullet hit the pilot. The plane quickly spiraled out of control. The attendant ran to grab a parachute and the ICS key. But right then, the plane hit a mountain, and the villain got sucked out. Now the plane was about to crash completely. If they wanted to survive, they had to get out. Matthew put the last parachute on Emily, and told her to take care of herself and the baby, but Emily refused to leave him. She wrapped her legs around Matthew's waist, pulled the cord, and they both made it out. After landing, they decided they couldn't live a normal life as agents. There was such a huge explosion, everyone would think they died in the crash. So they decided it was best to just disappear. Matthew said, "Look, I don't have anyone. This is easy for me, but you'll have to stay away from your mom forever." Emily said it wasn't that hard. She didn't get along with her mom anyway. Fast forward 15 years. We see Emily and Matt living a quiet life with their kids. Their daughter, Alice, is a bit rebellious. She does whatever she wants and doesn't really listen to her parents. Their son, Leo, is a bit shy and spends all day glued to his gadgets. While heading to school, Emily asked if they should all go see a movie tonight, but Alice ignored her and said she was going to a friend's house to study. After dropping the kids off, Emily and Matt were watching them with binoculars like spies. After looking for a bit, Emily said she's with that same boy again. Matt didn't feel right about spying on his own kids. He said they should let them live their lives. But Emily didn't stop. She said they're holding hands. They even kissed, but right then Alice spotted them. She angrily asked, "What are you guys doing here?" Embarrassed at being caught, they both just quietly drove away. That night, Emily was complaining about her daughter not listening at all, telling her to get out of her room, just give her food. How annoying teenagers are. Suddenly she noticed Alice's bag. Messages kept popping up on her laptop. Emily tried to stop herself but picked up the laptop anyway. She tried a password to open it, but it didn't work. Just then Matt walked in. He said, "What are you doing? This is why your daughter gets so mad at you." Emily said she suspected Alice lied about studying and went somewhere else, but Matt still tried to stop her from opening it. Then, a sticker on the laptop came off in Emily's hand. She saw something, typed in the password "Mom sucks," and it opened. She was furious. After reading the messages, she found out Alice was going to an event called Chemical Apocalypse. Hearing Chemical Apocalypse from his mum, Leo explained it's a club party. There are tons of drugs and alcohol there. Hearing this, Emily and Matt tracked Alice's phone to the club. Inside, they saw Alice dancing in the VIP section. Emily went straight to her and told her to get home right now. Then some guys showed up and started teasing them, calling them old folks. But things went too far when a guy grabbed Alice's hand to stop her from leaving. This made Emily lose it, and she grabbed the guy's throat and slammed his head against the wall. Now a fight broke out between the guys and the parents. Matt joined in to help Emily. Together they took down the whole gang in minutes and slammed their leader to the floor. But then Emily and Matt realized their fight was being filmed. Matt immediately grabbed a guy's phone and deleted the video. On the way home, they admitted they found out from her laptop, and as punishment for what Alice did, she was grounded for days. In a rage, Alice said she'd pick a college so far away that she'd never have to see them. Alice and Matt started shouting at her for that. Alice then said, "You guys are liars. How did you learn to fight like that? Huh? Tell me." Emily claimed they took a couple of taekwondo classes. Alice was so annoyed. "You learned to fight that well in 2 classes? Am I stupid, Mum?" Later, Emily told Matt she missed her old life as an agent. Matt told her to calm down. "Remember, we left everything for the family." Then, joking around, they started playfully fighting, reliving their old days. Meanwhile, Alice was fighting with Leo about why he told them their location. But Leo lied and said he didn't say anything. Secretly, he was pretty happy his sister got busted. The next morning, Emily and Matt's old boss, Chuck, showed up at their house. Matt was shocked and asked, "How did you find us?" Chuck said the video of their club fight was trending. Emily told him to get inside quickly, but Chuck said there was no time and got straight to the point. He said her ex, Baron, was a traitor. Now he's working with Gore to find them. Chuck said if he could find them this easily, Gore probably knows their location too, but Emily couldn't understand what they wanted from them after all these years. It turns out the ICS key was never found in the plane wreckage. Gore thinks they still have it. Chuck warned them their house wasn't safe anymore, and suddenly, a sniper shot Chuck right in the neck. All of a sudden, a bunch of thugs showed up outside and started shooting at the house. Luckily, the kids were at school. Matt and Emily hid inside quickly. Then they realized the bad guys could go after the kids too. They both ran to the garage. They rigged a car's accelerator, so it smashed through the door and crashed into the thugs' car. Meanwhile, Emily and Matt escaped in another car. The thugs immediately started chasing them. On the way, Emily asked how they'd prove they didn't have the key. Matt asked, "Don't get mad, but can I tell you something?" Emily realized immediately. "Are you crazy? You have it?" Actually, Matt didn't want it falling into the wrong hands, so he hid the ICS key at Emily's mum's house, because the security there is insane. Meanwhile, the hired thugs caught up. Matt made a bomb out of Diet Coke and Mentos, and threw it into their car. The driver lost control and crashed into a truck. Once the danger passed, they rushed to the school and picked up the kids. The kids were confused and scared, wondering why they were running away. Without explaining anything, Matt and Emily took them straight to the airport. At the airport, the kids asked why they were suddenly going to England. Emily said they were going to see their grandma. "We have a grandma?" Alice snapped. "Mum, how many lies have you told us? You said she was dead." Anyway, Matt stepped in to calm everyone down. On the plane, Emily thought they should tell the kids the truth, but Matt said not here. Let's wait a few days. The next day, the family arrived in London with fake passports. They took a bus to a parking lot. Getting off the car, Matt saw a man and signaled Emily. While getting off the bus, Emily intentionally bumped into the guy and stole his keys. She slickly handed them to Matt. Matt quickly brought a car around and told the kids he'd rented it. "Come on, get in." But they didn't know one of Gore's men was on the bus too, secretly sending their location to his boss. Baron also found out about their return through the airport's camera system. He said he'd been looking for the ICS key for 15 years, and told his team to find them immediately. He told his assistant to keep an eye on the kids. They were bound to mess something up. In the car, Matt and Emily asked the kids for their phones. As soon as they got them, Emily broke the SIM cards. But suddenly, the car ran out of gas. Leo was starving and started complaining. They stopped at a nearby gas station. While Matt was filling up, he gave the kids some money to go get something to eat. Inside, the kids started talking. "Did you see our passports are fake?" They started thinking their parents might be criminals running away from the country. Then Alice realized her brother's gaming device had internet. Alice said, "I saw the name Jeffrey Baker on the passport. Find out who that is." Her brother searched and found out Jeffrey Baker died in 1952. Now the kids' suspicion grew even more. Outside, Matt and Emily were thinking about what to do next when Gore's thugs arrived, and Baron got their location too. Matt and Emily saw the thugs surrounding them. Before the attack, Matt lit the end of a gas pump on fire and started attacking the enemies with flames. Emily grabbed a weapon and started beating them up. The kids were in total shock seeing their parents fight like James Bond. They were taking out enemies like it was nothing. After the fight, Matt quickly got the kids into the car. Emily saw a thug about to shoot at them, so she slammed the car into reverse and ran him over. The kids were even more terrified. Alice asked, "Who was that guy? Why did you do that? And why was he shooting at us?" Now she was sure her parents were terrorists. Just then, Baron and his team drove past them, and as soon as he saw them, he told the driver to turn around. But to block the road, Matt broke a truck's chain. Huge pipes fell onto the road. He also shot the truck's tire, causing it to tilt and completely block the road. Baron was furious that they had escaped his grasp again. Inside the car, the kids demanded answers. Matt finally told them everything. "We were both CIA agents, spies." Leo was thrilled and said, "Dad, you can beat up Sydney's dad. And Connor's dad? You can beat up all the dads at school." Matt replied, "Yeah, son, I can take 'em all, just not all at once." Alice was impressed too, but Emily scolded the kids for going online. Leo said he just Googled on his gaming device. Hearing this, Matt took the device and tossed it onto the roof of a passing truck. "You play too many violent games anyway." Leo sarcastically replied, "I just play them. I don't actually do it in real life like you guys." Meanwhile, Baron was investigating the gas station. A tattoo on a thug revealed he was one of Gore's men. The next morning, Matt took the family to Emily's mom's house. Mother and daughter hadn't spoken in a long time, so Matt said he'd talk first. The kids were stunned by the massive mansion. "Is this Grandma's house? Are you guys from some royal family?" Emily opened the gate with a password, and as they walked in, they heard a gunshot. Jeannie, their grandma, was practicing her aim on a bird. The kids met their grandma for the first time. Emily found out Matt had been sending Jeannie photos of them for years. Leo asked, "Grandma, can I give you a hug?" Jeannie said, "No, we don't do that here. Go pick up that dead bird." The inside of the mansion was even more fancy. Matt wanted to grab the ICS key and leave quickly, but Jeannie told them to stay a while. Then a guy walked in, Jeannie's boyfriend Nigel. They started kissing in front of everyone. Everyone was a bit awkward. Matt told Nigel to show the kids the house while he talked to Jeannie. Meanwhile, Baron was tracking Leo's gaming device. He soon realized they'd been tricked. Then his assistant told him they'd tracked the stolen car. That car had gone into this big mansion. Records showed the mansion belonged to Jeannie, who was a famous MI6 agent back in her day. Baron explained they needed special permission to search her house. He looked at Jeannie's file and found out Emily was her daughter, but he kept that a secret from the others. Inside, Nigel was showing the kids his gadgets. He mentioned he was also training to be a spy. Alice wasn't interested at all and walked out. Downstairs, Matt told Jeannie he'd hidden the ICS key in a part of her house. Jeannie was livid. She said, "You brought danger to my home." Emily shot back, "Mom, stop being so selfish for once. You never cared for me. You sent me away to America to study. The day I got pregnant, I decided I'd never raise my kids the way you raised me." Jeannie replied, "And what good did that do? You and your daughter aren't exactly close. She hates you, doesn't she?" Deep down, Emily felt her mum was right. Standing nearby, Alice saw her mum looking sad and felt terrible. She thought, "I'm such a bad daughter." Soon, Matt and Emily went to find the ICS key, and Alice went to her grandma and said, "I don't hate my mum. Don't say that again." Jeannie smiled and said, "No kid can truly hate their parents. They just get mad sometimes. And your mum is way better than me." Suddenly, armed thugs broke into the house. They blew up the gate and entered the compound. Unaware, Matt took Emily to the old wine cellar where he'd hidden the key 15 years ago. Suddenly, they heard a helicopter outside. They realized they were under attack. They ran through a side door. Inside, they found Jeannie and Nigel tied up. Emily quickly freed her mum and ran with Matt to find the kids. In the main hall, they faced a bunch of armed thugs who had Leo and Alice. Emily and Matt knew they couldn't fight all these guys at once. To save the kids, Matt admitted, "We have the ICS key. I'll give it to you. Just let the kids go." Then an old face appeared, Chuck. They were stunned to see he was alive. Chuck revealed that Baron had nothing to do with it. He's actually a good guy. The shooting and blood they saw earlier were fake. After the plane crash, the failure of the mission fell on him. His career was ruined, and now he's back for revenge and the key. Chuck took the ICS key and had his hacker check if it was real. Meanwhile, the guards checked on Jeannie, thinking she was still tied up. Jeannie saw her chance, pulled out a hidden tranquilizer gun, and started knocking out soldiers one by one. When more thugs came, she had to fight with knives and kitchen tools. During the fight, Nigel got shot. In the other room, the thugs got distracted, and Emily and Matt took the chance to start taking them out. But Chuck and his main guys kept their guns on the kids. As soon as Matt and Emily stopped, someone attacked from behind and knocked them out. When they woke up, they saw Jeannie was there, but it was too late. Chuck and his people had kidnapped the kids and taken them away in a helicopter. They checked the CCTV, but the helicopter's registration wasn't clear. Then Matt noticed Leo giving a thumbs up to the camera in the video. He realized Leo was showing his fitness tracker ring, which could be tracked. Matt immediately logged into the account and found the location. The kids were at an art museum. That night, Matt and Emily suited up and headed to the museum. Security was tight, so they left their weapons outside and snuck in. Chuck asked for a huge amount of money from Gore for the key. Gore didn't like this and felt Chuck was betraying him, so Gore told his men he wanted that key at any cost. Meanwhile, Chuck took his buyers to the roof. He told his hacker to shut down all of London's power at once. That was the thing about the ICS key, it could hack any system easily. In seconds, the whole city went dark, including the museum. Downstairs, Matt and Emily realized Chuck was showing off the key's power. Emily said he must be on the roof for the best view. They saw some of Gore's men getting into an elevator and jumped in with them. On the roof, Chuck was arrogantly bragging about the key. He told the hacker they could even open the river dam usually controlled by the Navy. This barrier is what keeps the sea from flooding the city. As the barrier started lowering, the Navy went into a panic. Meanwhile, Matt and Emily reached the top floor, but armed thugs blocked their way. After a massive fight, they took down all the guards. The buyers were impressed by the key's power, and finally, one man bought it for $50 million. Then Baron showed up with his men. Matt asked, "How did you find this place?" Baron said, "You two are international fugitives. Catching people like you is my job." Emily said, "Don't do this now. They have our kids." But Baron said, "I'm not arresting you, especially not after knowing you kept the key out of the wrong hands." Baron realized Chuck was the real mastermind and offered to fight alongside Matt and Emily. Everyone charged into Chuck's auction house. Chuck fled, and Matt and Emily chased after him. Baron's men fought the armed thugs. Chuck told his team to take the kids to a boat and got in himself. Then Gore's people blocked Matt and Emily, demanding the key. But suddenly, laser dots appeared on the thugs' faces. It was Jeannie, aiming her gun at them. Terrified, Gore's men surrendered. Matt and Emily grabbed the thugs' bikes and chased the boat. Gore's backup team also chased them on bikes, so Matt and Emily had to split up. Matt used his crazy driving skills to lose his pursuer. Meanwhile, Emily cleverly knocked her pursuer off his bike and hopped onto a speedboat. Matt soon joined her on the boat. They were closing in on Chuck. Chuck told the hacker to take the key to the safe house. But Nigel, who was waiting in a truck for Jeannie, saw the hacker and chased her down, ramming her car. The hacker was knocked out, and Nigel grabbed the key and told Jeannie. Jeannie said, "Hurry, we have to close the barrier." But poor Nigel was panicking and couldn't figure it out. Error messages kept popping up on the screen. At that moment, Matt and Emily reached Chuck's boat. They jumped on and started throwing his men overboard. Nigel finally used his head and carefully started closing the barrier. Matt and Emily realized they were about to crash. They put life jackets on the kids and threw them into the water so they'd be safe. Then they both took on Chuck together. They shoved him down into the boat and jumped into the water at the last second. Chuck's boat smashed into the barrier and exploded. It was all over, and the family was safe. Matt praised Leo for being smart, and Emily gave Alice a big hug. A bit later, Jeannie arrived and Emily hugged her too. Everything was finally okay between mother and daughter, and the whole family was back together. Subscribe for more.